My cheating ex-wife is falling apart. Literally. Karma is kicking my cheating ex-wife's butt. I'm not keeping tabs on her, but my old neighbor is telling me everything. So is her ex-boss. So my neighbor has witnessed her fall off of the roof of the home we shared together while married twice. What? Oh my goodness. Dang. First, she broke her arm. And this last time, her left foot. Not to mention, she's fell behind on mortgage payments. She contacted me asking me for my help. I, of course, said no, and she'd had her motorcycle repossessed. She's falling apart. I met my ex-wife during the pandemic, March of 2020. We both attended Anytime Fitness early AM, 5 to be exact. After noticing each other and sometimes being the only two there so early, right before they close for a moment in time, due to the pandemic obviously, we started talking, and of course, we had plenty to talk about with the world in the state it was in at the time. We'd both be on the elliptical and having a conversation about all that was going on in the world. She couldn't stand Donald Trump and would accuse him of everything. Basically, according to my ex-wife, Lexi, Trump is the reason it spread all over the U.S. My apologies, true story. I don't want to get into that talk. I'm sure you wouldn't want to talk about that on your channel. I actually seen that one of my favorite channels got in trouble for talking about it. So I'll move on. We eventually exchanged numbers, and since we both worked from home and literally lived walking distance from one another, we started having lunch at each other's houses. I'll host, then she'd host. It went back and forth, Monday through Friday, and it was amazing. We fell in love pretty fast, most would say. By June of that same year, we decided to go on a vacation to Florida. It was amazing. 1 whole week enjoying the sun. In Florida, Orlando to be exact, there is where she told me she'd love to be my wife one day. I smiled, and we enjoyed our trip. When we got back, I got some devastating news. My company decided to furlough me until further notice. They had laid off or fired 15 other people, but I was one of a few who was furloughed. I guess I was supposed to be happy about that. I, of course, qualified for unemployment, and there was additional money on top of it, which was great, but it wasn't the same. I didn't search for other work, as my job told me they didn't want to lose me and are doing everything they can to hold on to me. Well, eventually, they let me go, and I couldn't find work anywhere for a minute. It truly was a crappy time. Lexi was by my side the entire time. I will give her that. I eventually found a customer service job working from home on the phone. It paid less, but it paid the bills. Lexi at the time didn't care about fancy stuff or materialistic things. She became that way after we married. But being honest, Lexi was there when I needed her in 2020. Once I started working again, things were great, and in 2021, I proposed. We got married in 2022, and obviously, that didn't last very long. We bought a house together September of 2021, locked in an amazing interest rate at 2.75%. A single-family ranch home that we agreed to sell later on and upgrade once we had children. That obviously never happened. She got to keep the house, but I got a cut of equity. She didn't want to let it go at all. She claimed it would later be her cash cow, which it's projected to be in the future. Heck, she could sell now and make some good money if she wanted. I'm not mad, I'm just happy she showed me her true colors. After getting married in 2022, in the beginning she didn't show any signs of cheating. Then all of a sudden, she tells me she wants to join some local bike club. For a while, I stupidly assumed it was some all-girls bike club, but it wasn't. She introduced me to one of the guys, and this person is someone she also worked with. Or should I say worked for? It was her boss. She joined the club, and the late night outs became a thing. Initially, I'd go with her. And being there, I couldn't imagine my wife going to these clubhouse parties by herself. But she started insisting that she did and said I was too much of a bore at the parties, as she could tell I didn't want to be there. I told her, no, you will not be attending these parties and events. In fact, I don't want you a part of this club anymore. My wife actually did stop for a while, but told me in one big argument that we had that I can't control her. During the little bit of time she listened to me and did not attend the biker events, she demanded I buy her things. She started to shop heavy on Amazon, buying things for the house, new clothes, almost like a punishment, saying, either let me do what I want or get used to me spending recklessly. It became very stressful. So her going back to the bikers events was okay until I'd had enough. Believe it or not, my wife's boss is who tipped me off about my wife cheating on me with a member at the club. Her boss and I actually became pretty cool. When I met him about my wife joining the club, we both played baseball with some other guys on the weekends and had lunch together on those days. So me getting that text from him, I had zero doubts that he was lying to me. I believed him immediately. He didn't need to send me the pictures. So the text came to me from my wife's boss while they both were at a walk for cancer event. He texted me saying, "Hey man, sorry to tell you, but I think Lexi is cheating on you." I'm sorry, dude. I know she's cheating on you. Me. Okay, with who? Boss. One of the guys in the club, Randy. They literally are walking in front of me, kissing and holding hands. Next few minutes, I get a text message with pictures attached, and yes, indeed, Lexi is all over this guy. I was ticked off. I rushed down to where they were and stood at the end of the walk where everyone will be finishing. As soon as I spotted my wife's club, I see her and the guy, Randy, holding hands. I walked out there, pushed him to the ground, and started yelling at my wife. 3 other guys from the club who didn't know who I was jumped on me, but my wife and her boss stopped them before they did any further damage. I got up and I slapped my wife. Her boss grabbed me and told me to calm down. My wife took off running and crying. The other club members tried getting in my face, and I told them my wife has been cheating on me with this prick, and I pointed out Ryan. Ryan said, well, maybe if I'd F her right, then she wouldn't need him. I walked away and went to my car and drove home. I pull up and the police car is in front of my home. Lexi points me out, screaming, "There he is!" The cop demanded I get out of the car. In the middle of the street, I contemplated speeding off, but why make things more difficult than what they are, right? I get out, and this aggressive cop slams me on my hood and reads me my rights. This man says to me, "I'm so sick of you wife beaters. Pick on someone your own size, why don't you?" I sat in that back seat for close to an hour, it felt like, until they finally took me down to the station. I was arrested and spent the rest of the weekend in jail. The officer at the jail was pretty cool. He shared his snacks with us and talked with us both nights. There were eventually a total of 4 of us in the jail that weekend. My brother bailed me out that Monday. My immediate thought was to find a divorce lawyer. I didn't go home. I talked to a lawyer and got everything in place. 2 days after staying with my brother and already getting divorce papers put together, Lexi texted me this. "I hope you're okay. I forgive you and have dropped the charges. Can you come home?" I didn't reply at all. I was asking my lawyer if I'd lose the house since I've left. He told me more than likely we'd have to sell and split everything. When Lexi got served at the house, she blew my phone up with missed calls and text messages. She begged that we try counseling and started admitting to kissing Ryan, but she never slept with him, ever. She said something so small can be worked through, can be worked out, and there's no need for a divorce. I didn't reply. I just simply read everything she sent. I had no interest in reconciliation. For what? She'd just do it again and again until I left her. We divorced in 2023. She fought to get the home entirely, claiming I abandoned the home and filed for divorce immediately. My lawyer produced evidence that she cheated on me and her admitting it. She later agreed to pay me out, and I was okay with that. I get a lump sum of cash and a huge debt off of my back. I proudly took it. So I'm actually still good friends with my neighbor that lives next door to my ex-wife, Lexi. I'm also friends with her boss. Now, where Lexi works, there's 3 different bosses. They all run the show. Yes, he had to agree to terminate her, but one of the owners there wanted to get rid of her because of something she did. The boss that I know couldn't tell me exactly what it was, but it was pretty bad. I'm not sure exactly, and I didn't go running to Lexi to find out what it was. He was afraid to tell me, in fear that it would get back to Lexi. He could get in trouble, so I didn't know. So I had no idea why she was fired. But she was fired from her job, and my neighbor told me that she was on the roof trying to fix something and ended up falling off, and it happened again a second time. He took the picture the second time. I said, "Well, did you run out to see if she was okay?" He said, "Yeah. He's the one that called the ambulance both times. He doesn't know how he managed to just be in his kitchen at the exact time to see her climb up and down that ladder, and both times she falls down. She broke something, so now Lexi is just falling apart. She has no money. She has reached out to me asking me to help her with the mortgage, to help her with her car payments, or her motorcycle payment. But that got repossessed. It felt so good and amazing telling her no. And I'm not going to lie, seeing her fall apart like this is great. She tossed me to the side and started treating me like I was just a piece of garbage. I didn't deserve that. There was no reason for her to treat me that way. But she did. She felt the need to cheat on me. She cheated on me and tried to lie about it. I only kissed him. Really? Why would he say, "I'm not providing for you in the bedroom. That's why you go to him"? Obviously, you two were having sex. Nonetheless, the kissing and holding was more than enough. It's over. You disrespected me. You don't care about me anymore. That's why I divorced you. Today I'm doing great, true story. I work out and I'm in the running for management at my job. Life is great. Wow. Yeah, okay. You definitely did the right thing. Salute to her boss. Salute to her boss for doing the right thing. You know, he didn't have to get into you guys' business. He could have said, "Hey, that's not my business." He probably could have talked to her off to the side and said, "Hey, don't do this." But no, he was a real one. He was a real one and said, "Hey, nah, I play baseball with him. He's a good guy. You're cheating on him? I'm snitching." Yeah, salute to the boss. And he got her fired for a different reason, but she got fired too. Look, man, karma is a bee. Karma is a bee. We all know this. She got what she deserved. I'm not mad at all. Salute to you, man. Thanks for sending in this story. Guys, if you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.